Hello, this is old Mr. Kent of MrKent.com, and I'm still getting used to the DJI Mini 3 Pro. And so on this particular flight, I don't trust it 100% yet because I haven't had it that long. But on this particular flight, I wanted to do not a range test, but just to make sure I didn't lose it when it got further away. Because so far it's been doing really well, but I haven't really pushed it out as far as it'll go. If you look out there straight ahead of us, those power poles are over 200 feet high, and so you'll see me increase my altitude here pretty soon. But with other drones, and I can't remember which one it was, it may have been my Air 2, that I wanted to see how far I could go straight out this direction. And I went out over 2 miles. So I know that with that drone, it would go straight out. To go straight out right now, I'd have to, if I lost my drone, I'd have to be able to cross the canal and then get into some territory out there that is well, it's not as friendly as the stuff on this side of the canal. So I really don't want to be looking around out there because I tested my Mini 3 before it was ready. So here I am raising altitude. Well, anyway, I have been telling stories. If you're new to my channel, I've been telling stories about my life. And then recently I started going through the Lord's Prayer because I like to read the Bible and I love Jesus. So I've been going through the Lord's Prayer, and we're near the end of it. But anyway, it was Jesus told us to pray this way, and it's our Father which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our sins as we forgive those who sin against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. That's the part right there that we're going to cover today. And I personalize it. Lead me not into temptation. And you're going to ask yourself, does God actually lead us into temptation? Because that's what it kind of sounds like. But I'm not a Greek expert or anything. I don't even know Greek. It's Greek to me. But anyway, in order to explain what I believe that means is if I was to say, candy is good for your teeth, not, or I'm the smartest guy in the world, not. So when we say, lead us into temptation, not, it's kind of saying God's not going to do that. Okay? And so, and by the way, there's this verse in the Bible. For years, I can't say I hated it, but I felt like I really didn't like it. By the way, here we are. We're getting out close to where I turn around. Actually went out to over 7,200 feet, which is maybe a mile and a half or so. Well, anyway, so with the verse is in 1 Corinthians 10, chapter 13, and as a teenager, my youth directors quoted it to us, and then over the years, preachers quoted it to us, and it's, there's no temptation taken you that is not common to man, but with the temptation, God will also provide a way to escape. And so throughout my life, I want to do things right, but every once in a while, just like everybody else, I got tempted to do things I shouldn't do. And I felt really, really guilty. And I always asked, where is the way to escape? Yeah, where's the way to escape? And so as years went by and I started carefully reading the Bible, which I hadn't done for years, I got to that, as I was reading through 1 Corinthians, I got to that verse and I thought, oh, this is the verse I hate. But then, here's the thing that I discovered. With that's verse 13, but follow on through. There is no temptation taken you, but such as is common to man. But with the temptation, God will also provide a way to escape. Wherefore, dearly beloved, verse 14, flee. Wherefore, dearly beloved, flee. Well, if they would have quoted that part, I probably would have been a little bit smart about trying to avoid temptation, but they didn't do that. So Anyway, so once I learned that, then it all made sense. When I'm tempted to do something I shouldn't, I need to turn my back on it and run. And by the way, that verse 13, the last word is escape. And when you're trying to get away from something like a bear's at the end of the road, you run. You don't drag your feet. And so that's what that verse means, is just when you're tempted to do something you know you shouldn't, turn from it, go the opposite direction, and don't even think about it. So no, I don't believe God's going to lead us into temptation, but He will lead me not into temptation, but deliver me from evil. He will, in lots of cases, in lots of times, He will do something to prevent you from going into to a dangerous situation. So that's my interpretation of that part of the Lord's Prayer, and I hope it's helpful to you. I hope that you know Jesus personally. If you don't, there's some verses. I'll put a verse in my description. First of all, I'll put the Lord's Prayer in there, and then I'll put a verse in the description that you can look up, and you can Google it or just read it right there, and it tells you. And if you have any questions about how to trust your life to Jesus, don't hesitate to get in touch. I'll put my email address in there also. Now, as I head home, I want to show you a trick that I was able to actually learn to do with my brand new Mini 3. The other day it was pretty breezy. In fact, on this particular day, it was breezy. And so I tried to land it on my landing pad on that particular day, and it ended up landing in the dirt because the wind kept moving it around. And when it was time to actually drop down, a gust of wind blew it off the pad, and it went into the dirt. So I'd seen guys on YouTube that could come up behind it and grab a hold of it, turn it upside down, and it's called hand landing. And so I decided, okay, on this particular day, in this flight, I decided, all right, I'm going to do my best to land it by hand. So as we're coming in here, in just a second, you'll see me on the ground and walking around behind my Mini 3 and grabbing it and turning it upside down. I don't have that part on film, but this is the part that I was actually able to get on film. So now I'm trying to figure out, do I really want to do this? Because I had seen other guys do it. So I grabbed it, flipped it upside down, the propeller stopped, and I landed it. So anyway, there you go. I want to thank you for watching my videos, and God bless.